You often ask me after my You Paid For It reports if anything ever gets done. Well, here's an example where the answer is yes. It has to do with money that comes from you, the taxpayers of New York, meant to help in the fight against prostate cancer. $3 million in donations and matching funds. Now, when the state controller first confirmed a few months ago that the fund hasn't been used, hasn't been touched in its 10 years of existence, there was shock and outrage. But now there is the beginning of action. Nearly $3 million to fight prostate cancer has been raised over the past decade through donations made on a checkoff box on your New York State tax form. You'll see it again when you file this year. But the money, all $3 million, is just sitting there. It's never been touched.
If any charity was doing this, they would have been revoked for not spending the money that came in.
That was Mike Burgess of the American Cancer Society's Cancer Action Network when we first brought you the story last November. According to the law that was signed by then-Governor Pataki with much fanfare back in 2004, only one group, the nonprofit New York State Coalition to Cure Prostate Cancer, can disperse the money. And that organization has had its problems, lost its tax-exempt status, and hasn't distributed a dime. So now the move is on to change the law.
We're going to address it in the budget. The governor has been involved with those discussions. The statute itself is clunky. It directed it to a prostate foundation out of state. Everybody agrees that's not appropriate.
Senator Kemp Hannon chairs the Senate's Health Committee. Legislative change is going through his committee.
The goal for prostate would be to have a grant type of program, not just make this part of the revenue flow to centers of excellence such as Roswell or Sloan Kettering, but have it a grant program so the public could feel that there's actual research and innovation being done to try to address the prostate cancer.
Mike Burgess says there are plenty of groups that could do plenty of good with that money. How frustrating is it to you knowing that money is sitting there and knowing all the work that needs to be done?
Well, I think it's frustrating because people of the state actually gave the money. They had a desire to give contributions to a fund. And it's frustrating that we haven't followed through on it.
How soon do you think this money would be in the hands of people who can do good with it?
Well, I think we'd allow it to happen fairly quickly because the money's already accumulated. But really, the decision-making process as to who should get the grants and which grants would make a difference, that might take from weeks to months.
Now, Senator Hannon tells me there will most likely be a board created through the state health department to distribute grants from the Prostate Cancer Fund. We will, of course, keep you updated and let you know when the money actually starts flowing. There are several other charities that also have checkoff boxes on your tax forms. A renewed effort will also be made to make sure all of those monies are also fully distributed.